Hey everyone, Red Devils Talk. We are back with another preview. Manchester United versus Spurs, our first away game of the season. And last season, we didn't have such good away form. So we'll be definitely doing a good preview on that. And Ten Hag has also made mention of a bit of transfer news with regards to Johnny Evans, which in my opinion is not so good. But we'll get into that in today's video. So subscribe to the channel, please drop a like, hit the notification bell. You know exactly what to do. Thank you for your support. So Spurs, they drew 2-2 against Brentford in their first game, and they didn't look quite convincing without Harry Kane. It has to be said. Their biggest threat is no longer there. And it's not to say that they're going to be a much easier team to play against. Of course, we know Postecoglou is their new manager, and he, in his terms, did quite well at his previous club. And right now, he's obviously trying to implement his style and the way he wants to play and the way he wants to set up. And from what I saw in that game against Brentford, he plays quite a high line. And he pushes both his wing-backs quite high. So that does cause a bit of, not an issue, shall I say, but it makes us look less threatening should we want to play out from the back. And this is a perfect game for us to play out from the back, because this is not Wolves. Spurs will try and press us. They will try and pinch the ball in high areas to make us make mistakes. And this is a perfect game for us to play out from the back and try and beat a press and then quickly transition into an attacking sense. Of course, the team that Ten Hag will play vastly depends upon how he wants to set up. As I said, Spurs will play with a high line, so that will leave them quite vulnerable to spacing behind. And we know Marcus Rashford is quite a deadly threat with attacking spaces in behind. So Spurs will be wary of that, and Rashford will want to exploit that. So it comes down to how we play through the lines. Can we hold on to the ball? And the midfield gaps that we had against Wolves cannot happen again in this game, because with the likes of Son up front for them, he is still an imposing threat. Can score goals, can run solos, can beat a man, can definitely shoot from range as well. So we will need to be at the top of our game in our own defensive third. Now, you might look at the way, in my opinion, we set up. Now, we might sit back, but I don't think Ten Hag is the type of person that would want to sit back even when we are playing away. Last season's away form was really not that good. And we got quite a few hammerings. And that left us a bit fearful to play at our best away from home. And yes, in most of those games away from home, we tended to be in a bit of a shell. Kind of not play 100% to the way that we know we can. And most of the time, it led us to either drawing the game or losing. Now, against Wolves, we didn't play well, but we still managed to get the result. We won't get lucky all the time like that. We won't always find ourselves in a position to still win a game while we haven't played well. Teams will punish us. And if we have that same midfield gaps against Wolves, against Spurs, we surely will concede goals. And yes, you might put much dependence upon the defense, the way they will have to man mark, because it is obvious that Spurs will try and play wide and will try and play balls in behind our back four, whether it be crossing it in the box or cute little balls in behind for them to cut it back and maybe get someone in the box to tap it in. So the aggression as well, in my opinion, needs to be there. We can't allow players to run past us the way Wolves, Matheus Nunes, Cunha, etc. completely ran past the likes of Casemiro, Bruno, Mount, etc. And it's not to say that because that happened, Ten Hag will go and make wholesale changes. No, I'm sure, in my opinion, that he will stick with the same team. And the only change he might make, because of the way he came on, is Sancho. He had quite a very good cameo, and it spurred us on, gave us extra energy, and perhaps he did enough to start. In my opinion, I think he should start up front. And speaking of which, let's give you my starting 11. So, of course, Onana in goal. Sure, Martinez has been confirmed fit enough to play this game by Ten Hag in the press conference. And Varane and Wan-Bissaka as the back five. In midfield, I will go with exactly the same of Casemiro, Mount, and Bruno, and just get one of them to not be as high, but play as a number 8 as he should, and maybe just help Casemiro out in a more defensive sense. And of course, I would expect Mount to do this because he has more energy and is more mobile. So, and up front, I think it would need to be Sancho on the left, Rashford up front, and Anthony on the right. I think this is the team that Ten Hag will go with. I think Garnacho didn't do so well starting, and last season he was quite impactful off the bench, and perhaps would need to look to level up from just being an impactful bench player. And of course, he's still young, so there is lots of time for him to develop into that. So perhaps in this game, he would fare better coming on in the second half, you know, with Spurs trying to push on and, of course, getting space in behind for him to use his direct pace, his direct attacking instinct to go and put us on the front foot. So, all in all, I think that the game itself will have quite a few counter-attacks because there will be transitions by Spurs and by us. And it won't be as open as what it was against Wolves because I'm sure Ten Hag won't allow us to be that exposed in midfield again. So, for me, it has to be a win. We need to be expecting wins on a consistent basis. That is who we are. That is who we are as Manchester United. And these type of games, especially away from home, we need to win if we look to and want to be part of the top 4 come the end of the season. We cannot play the way we did against Wolves. I've said this before. So we need to ensure that we are more alert, that we are more aggressive, that we press, but don't press too high to leave gaps in behind and leave players such as Casemiro having to mark the whole field rather than just half of the field. We need to also be quite careful in the way we play out from the back because, as I said, Spurs will try and press us high. So we need to find ourselves quite good angles, good triangles as well, playing the ball amongst each other, playing through the press, and then making good decisions when we are in the final third. Because against Wolves, we simply could not find the correct pass or make the correct decision at a crucial moment to score a goal. So we need to make better decisions in the final third. I mentioned Johnny Evans, and just quickly on him before I end, Ten Hag has confirmed that the club is in talks with him to extend his short-term contract at least until the end of the season, which in my opinion is a joke. Ten Hag first wanted Kim and Jay, then he had to digress and go to someone like Benjamin Pavard, Todibo, etc. And now Maguire has stalled the club moving forward. I said that in my previous video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out about me and my opinion on why Maguire needs to leave. But he is causing a stumbling block for us. And with the likes of Johnny Evans getting an extension potentially, that really shows how much the Glazers think about our progress and exactly the joke of a club that we are. Positivity. We have a game to look forward to against Spurs, but there's so many dark things hanging around on the club. It's Maguire not wanting to leave and causing a stumbling block. It's the elephant in the room, Mason Greenwood, that potentially is returning, and that is definitely a toxic effect on the club itself, and even more so the Glazers, who are they selling, are they not selling? We don't know, and that is the negative side to what we are right now as a club. But we look forward to Spurs, and it has to be a game that we have to focus on. Ten Hag in the press conference said himself, focusing on Spurs is all he wants to do. So we need to ensure that we can have a good performance and get the 3 points, get the good result, because that is what is important. We might not play well, but still try and get something out of the game. But we need to start playing well. We need to start having consistently good performances and outperform, outrun, be more aggressive than our opponents. So, thank you for joining me in today's preview. Drop a like, hit the subscribe, and of course, join me next time when I do speak about the game hopefully we win. Hopefully we have another 3 points on the road and we can start our away form on a winning note. Thanks for joining me. See you soon again, Red Devils. Bye-bye.